making a difference in the community through Christ. We are Shout 94.7.
Good morning, good morning.
Health is life. Your health matters. You matter. Health begins in the spirit and the mind. Take time to love you. Live well. Be well. Yeah, let's go. Come on, yeah. As you tune into the station for your morning motivation to get your education for your health and your spiritual needs. Yeah, strong words to empower people, to promote the peace, no positive attitude, baby, that's a lifelong dream goal. Yeah, health matters and we're here to help you become a better you, to be the best version you can be. Yeah, and it's time for this classic, fantastic, hope for your soul, and Jackie and Coach Patrick right here, let's go. Health matters to me.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Help Matters here. I am Jackie.
And I'm Coach Patrick.
All right, guys, we just thank you for joining us this morning. We have an awesome session this morning that we're going to be talking about. We've been talking about wellness.
Yeah, for the month of August.
Yes, and we did hit on one of the seven is, that social behavior. So, but that includes relationships.
Yes, it does.
So we're going to just kind of break that relationship down. So we're going to be talking about healthy relationships.
Healthy relationships.
Yeah, but this is the day the Lord has made.
Yes, we're going to rejoice and we're going to be glad in it because the joy of the Lord is our strength.
And our salvation.
Every day, all day.
All day.
Yes.
Every day.
Yes. All right.
I'm going to switch places on that one. Yes, guys. It's a beautiful morning, guys. A beautiful drive up from Augusta, Georgia. Today, beautiful morning. The sun was kind of still low, but it was like, I tell you, it was
Well, the
beautiful.
sun was rising.
Yes, it was really nice. We had a little bit
literally seen it rise.
Some threat. So the rising of the sun, he just worthy to be praised. Yes, absolutely. But yes, it was a beautiful ride up this morning. Nice, quiet ride. We was just, Coach and I was coming up, and we just, this person was just walking in the middle of the road, and I'm talking about 45 miles per hour. And of course, some people may be doing a little bit more, but literally you had to move over. Either you was gonna hit her or you had to move over, get in another lane. So I want to pray for that individual because that's not normal. And so I just want to pray for that person,
that Lord give us a sound mind,
and protection, and
power,
and
love, and
camp some angels around her.
Right.
Yes, and
restore
put her in her right mind.
Abilities.
Yes. And that's part
in
of that wellness,
man.
That mental wellness, and we talked about that when that mental wellness is just off balance, it's not in sync. A lot of things, we can make some bad decisions, some bad choices in life, and we don't know where people at in their life.
And then we can have some bad things to happen to us in life. It's not all about choices, but a lot of times it's about choices. But happy birthday, happy anniversary to everyone that's celebrating birthdays and anniversaries in this great month of August. We welcome our new grandbaby, Lanaya. So just want to personally mention her name. Happy birthday to Lanaya.
Yes, August the 5th. She entered into this world. We just thank God for her. She's a God gift. I tell you, she's a truly testimony.
Yes.
She's a true testimony. We had Connie Riggs and her husband celebrating, I think, 33 or 32. Happy anniversary to you guys. Awesome. I think it's a few more people, but happy anniversary. Yeah. Happy birthday. Celebrate yourself. Yourself. It's nothing like celebrating yourself. I know we have a family, our children and grandkids, but guys, we have to set aside and celebrate us.
You have to
celebrate yourself, and that's so important to do. Yes.
So we want to recognize our sponsors. Dr. Dan, Aiken Chiropractor. He's a sponsor of the Health Matters broadcast. When your spine is aligned, your body is too. Aiken Chiropractic is located at 425 Lawrence Street, Northwest in Aiken, South Carolina. Their number is 803-641-9191. And their website is www.aikenchiropractic.com. To be a sponsor, partner, or friend of this broadcast, you can call 706-592. 8862. Now, there are many other opportunities for you to broadcast over the station, WAAW. If you're an entrepreneur or have a business and you want to reach most of the counties in and outside of the CSRA, then you'll have the opportunity to do that. You can call the office at 803-649-6405. That number again is 803-649-6405 if you would like to make an investment into what you do as an entrepreneur and get the word out about your business and what you're doing in the community, whatever you're doing that needs to be heard and needs to be known. This station will get it out there. I guarantee you that.
Oh, you talking about guarantee?
Guarantee. You remember that guy used to come on TV? He was a cook or something, a country guy.
Oh, I think I do.
I forgot his name. But listen, we're excited. We're excited about next weekend. We're having our welcome back celebration luncheon and media event. Listen, WAW is back. Shout 94.7 is back. Prayers went up and blessings came down. You know, we are back on the air, and we know that it was a move of God. So we just want to celebrate and acknowledge, you know, and go back and give God thanks for what He's done for this CSRA community. And by bringing this station back. So next weekend, August the 23rd, is the day at 12 p.m. at the Leslie B. Price Center, 841 Edgefield Avenue, Northwest, here in Aiken, South Carolina. We're going to be celebrating. So we're going to have a great time. We want you to come and hear the vision, meet the Jesus team, the staff, the personalities. We'll have artists there that will be ministering. We'll have speakers there that will be speaking, and we'll be recognizing some people that's doing some great things in this area. Chris Parker. You can't have praise and worship without Chris Parker.
Yes, but
how do you do that? You
Patterson.
can't. Yeah, Patterson.
I forgot the other one.
I can't pronounce her name.
We had it on there now.
Yeah, but I mean, they know it's out there. It's out there. There's another young lady coming. Can't pronounce her name, and I don't want to murder it. So, is out there. There's other ways in which to get a ticket. You can get a ticket online at. Hold on. Go back to where you was at Cornerstone Group, bmc.ticketspice.com. I'll say that website again. Cornerstone Group, bmc@ticketspice.com. Okay, you can go there and you can get a ticket for the WAAW Welcome Back Luncheon. And if you would like to pay by Cash App, you can do that also. $CGBMC947. Cash App is $CGBMC947. And you can purchase your tickets. Tickets are only $25, y'all. Only $25. And it's all for a good cause. Everything is being sown into the station and what we do here so that we can do some upgrades with equipment and bring some things that's going to make your listening pleasures even better. All
right, guys. Yes. So we're looking forward to seeing you guys there.
Looking forward to seeing you there now.
Come on out. Having fun and fellowship and praise and worship. And you can't go wrong with that, guys. So come on out, you know. And I tell you, it's we could be doing so many other things, you know. You think about, you know, sometimes we're not doing anything. So just taking the moment and taking that time to come out and celebrate, you know, just celebrate on good ground.
That's right.
Sow into good ground.
That's
Put your seed into good ground. And God will multiply it 100-fold.
So, and you are invited.
Exactly. And so you want to sow into good ground. And WAW is good ground.
That's right.
Because if it wasn't, God would not have brought it back. And because He did, and what He provide, what He bring forth, what He called, He provides.
That's right.
And so we just thank Him, and He is so much favor has came forth already. So we thank God for that. So God, if you're out there listening, come on, join us.
If you can hear us, we want you there.
We
If
want
you can
there.
hear us, we want you there.
Absolutely.
Listen, you prayed, and as I said, the station is back. So if you don't do anything else, just come and say thank you, Lord, for bringing the station back on the air.
And that's rare, Coach, to
sell some property and get it back.
Come on now.
Yeah,
Come on,
that's a move of
nobody
God.
but God. So but guys, we're going to be talking about healthy relationships today.
Ooh.
We're ending the month. It's not ending, but we're talking about healthy relationship. We've been talking about wellness. Mm-hmm. August is Wellness Awareness Month, so we've been talking about the 7 dimensions of wellness. We've been talking about I forgot what the first one we kind of talked about.
We talked about the journey.
The journey to wellness.
Kind of giving you some tips.
What that looks like to you, your journey. If, you guys have started, you're thinking about contemplating on starting.
Everybody should have a wellness journey.
And everybody,
it's a lifestyle.
There's a lifestyle. It's part of how we function, and we have to take care of this physical body. It's it can't take care of itself.
That's right. And we only have one.
Yes, you get one, and let's just be the best us with it, and take care of it. And there's things God has put in place. He has given us stewardship. Mm-hmm. Our body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, so He has given us this temple to occupy while we are on this earth. Right. And we are a vehicle to transport the assignment, the purpose, the vision that He has imparted into us. Yep. So we have to sustain this body and do what we need to do. So what we can do, we do. What we can't do, we trust God to do. So it's His ability, but it's our responsibility to still be obedient and do the natural things that we should do.
Most definitely. I mean, we pray it all the time. The prayer, that was good. I mean, the prayer that He gave us to pray, there's a verse that says, "Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven." We're chasing heaven, and we're forgetting the practical things we need to be doing and spiritual things we need to be doing here on earth. Once we get into our purpose and we start operating in the things of God, He wants His will to be done right here. So we need to get busy right here, not just, when we come into the family and we know we got that assurance of going to heaven. Great, that's awesome. We're going to get there. But there's work to be done here.
Yes.
Thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Jackie, let's talk about these healthy relationships.
I know, we can stay right here. So, but I wanted to just recap, Coach, because I just wanted for people that haven't heard or didn't hear, I just wanted to kind of recap of what we've been talking about, because Coach and I, that's what we're here to do, to raise awareness. We're here to give you practical wisdom, everyday wisdom to confirm God's spiritual truth that aligns up with the Word of God, and to put these things into practice.
That's the thing. Got to be doers. Got to be doers, not just hearers.
And that's in every area of life.
Right.
That's in every area of our life. He cares about every area. He don't just care about one. He cares about every area of our lives.
That's why we ought to acknowledge Him in all things.
In all things.
Right. Even the little things that we think are little.
I know, right?
Everything.
Right.
And that's why we like, for you guys, we like to hear your views and we like to hear your opinions. So anytime we're talking, any topic we're talking about, you're so welcome to call in and share your views and opinions, because we don't know it all.
Absolutely.
You may have something that someone needs to hear, and we have the airways here for them to hear it. That call-in number is 803-226-0041. or 0043. Again, the call-in number is 803-226-0041 or 0043. Healthy relationships. The quality of your relationships affects your life. And that's no joke. I mean, it affects your self-esteem, and it depends on the person, and even your health. And we know that life can sometimes cause some stressful challenges in relationships. I mean, normal stresses of life, it just comes with life. Dissatisfaction in a relationship can cause weight gain due to emotional eating and lack of sleep. You know, and that's just the, you know, tip of the iceberg. You know, so when you're in a relationship that is unhealthy, it can cause a lot of things to go on with you, when, especially when you're stressing over it, being emotional over it, and you know, it causes you to eat emotionally, which usually is eating things that are not, you know,
or whatever you're
nutrition
finding comfort
very
in.
good for your body. So it could cause, you know, it can cause weight gain.
Yes,
And other things
and
that
other
happen in
things,
your body.
because your body it responds to what you're thinking.
That's right. And how you feel,
and how you're feeling. Even the intensity of your body. I tell people, you know, your cells eavesdrop on every word, every thought. It eavesdrops on that, your emotions, your feeling. Because and I have a little exercise I do with my clients. I say, okay, think about something negative, negative, and then talk about negative things, speak negative words, and feel. Pay attention to your body, how it's feeling, how it's, you know, just the intensity. It tenses up, and that tells you even your heart rate. You know, so check your heart rate.
Right.
So now look at it when you start speaking on those things that are lovely. You know, the Bible says, think on those things that are what? I think it's in Philippians, that are pure, that holy. Is holy, that is good, that is kind. Right. Pay attention to your body, how relaxed it becomes. Right. You know, so God created this awesome organism in our body. He has every part in our body has a role, and everything He gave us has a function.
Yes, it does.
It has a function, and when we understand those functions, when we understand those roles of each part of those body parts, you know, when we understand it and we understand its job and what it's supposed to do, we better to care for those things to continue, for them to continue to function the way they should function. You know, and
every joint
every joint, and that word joint right there in that in Ephesians, it talking about every joint. That's every member in the body. Every joint supplies.
Has a purpose.
That means you supplies, you contribute to the body. It fit. God bought everything in this body, this physical body, to fit for the growth of the body. Every part in there has a part of your growth in your body. Even our young baby, our grandbaby, every part.
Right.
Yeah.
So we were talking coming up, Jackie, about people don't sit down for dinner anymore.
Yes.
You know, and that's what helps build healthy relationships, especially in the family. It teaches communication techniques, you know, to your children. It gives your children an opportunity to express, you know, what they go through during the day and things like that. I mean, the dinner table now is treated like a pit stop. You know, you ever seen racing? You know, the Indy 500, you know, they going around in circles, just going. They come in, stop real quick, get their tires, get some more gas, and go again. You know, we got to get back to sitting down at the dinner table, you know, and have an opportunity to talk, husband, wife, children, you know, communication. We did that as parents to our children when they were young. And that's why they're good communicators. You know, they're going to tell you what's on their mind, what's on their heart, and they know how to do it in kindness.
And that's just some of that personality.
Yeah, but communication is so critical in relationships.
It is. Our pastor talks about that all the time, that communication, that key to that relationship is good communication. You got to know how to communicate. You got to know how your spouse communicate, how they receive the communication, because you may say one thing, but when they receive it, they can form a whole different narrative or opinion in their mind. So what you saying may not be what they are hearing or receiving. You got to understand.
And the communication is the key to do that. And we just need to slow down and stop and communicate. And the thing is to communicate, because some people withdraw and they don't want to communicate. Things like parenting disputes, those things need to be sought out. How are we going to handle the children? How are we going to discipline the children? Money issues, financial issues can cause all kind of problems in relationships.
Yeah.
One of the things I don't do, I don't loan money to anybody. I don't even loan money to family members. If they have a need, we participate and give them what we can give them, but it's not in the sense of a loan. We give it to them.
Yes.
You've come to me and you say, I need $500. I might not have $500 to give you, but I'll give you what I can give you
absolutely.
to help you. Because why give you a loan when you're already struggling with something? Right. So, and then now when you can't pay me back, now you're avoiding me, I ain't got the money. So, money issues, household chores needs to be discussed. Who's going to be responsible for what? Not saying that we have to be so strict and regulate, okay, daddy just take out the garbage and mama just wash the dishes. We can all do that, but we need to know who's going to be solely responsible for different household chores, even your children, because roles can increase stress levels. Somebody may feel like they're doing all the work in and around the house, so that can cause issues in the relationship to cause it to be unhealthy.
Yeah. Let's go back to that. We was talking about, the dinner table and how we said we know that foster healthy relationship, and it opens up dialogue, for your children to express how they feel, even family meetings.
Right.
Just no television. Back then we didn't have no social media like that, and our kids didn't have televisions.
And that's why it's even more important to do that today.
Yes, and we don't have to. I think because of technology, we just kind of go away from the basics. We don't have to go away from the basics. We just increase and, more. But we have allowed the social media world to just distract us and saying, that's like Coach said, a pit stop. Everybody in a corner, and zoom, zoom, zoom. Now I'm back in my corner. I'm back. Or we are at a table, and every one of us are on a phone.
Right.
That's not good.
Right.
That's not good.
That's not social wellness.
We are still disconnected.
Yeah.
Even though we sitting across from each other and we're sitting at a table, we're still disconnected.
You're present, but you're not there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
These are some things, guys, to just think about. Take these wisdom tools that we are putting out and ask yourself, are we doing this in our family? Are we doing enough communication? Or we are opening up dialogue with our children? Because we see a lot of non-parenting things are going on right now in a lot of the generation today.
Right.
And we really have to.
It starts in the home.
It starts in the home. And we see the kids, and we try to foster that. Think about teachers. They try to operate that discipline in school and to do these things. But when you go back to an environment that don't enforce it, it's hard.
Now, see, that's it. You just said it right there, because when a kid is not under authority in the home, they're not going to receive it from the teacher at school. They may threaten that teacher. They may get violent towards that teacher because they're not even under authority at home. So that's why I say it starts in the home. Now we've been talking about marriage relationship, but those things apply to every relationship.
It affects everything.
Communication is essential.
Yeah.
Right. Communication is essential and key in all relationships.
Right.
Mutual respect is critical. That you respect one another, especially doing conflict resolution.
Yeah, you talked about that. Just kind of expound on it when you say conflict resolution.
Yeah, when you got some issues going on, some hard things that you need to talk about, and y'all are not in agreement with things, it's easy to get angry and start disrespecting one another and start throwing words to get you mad, and then you throw words to get me mad. So we have to know that mutual respect, even when we're doing, conflict resolution, that we respect one another, we respect one another's feelings, we respect one another's opinions and thoughts. And like I said, that's in every relationship.
Yes.
We have to be respectful towards one another. We can disagree in all of these things. Like Jack and I, Jack and I have been married 41 years.
41 and a half.
And it ain't all been good, but it's been great. And here's the thing. We don't agree on everything, But if we had plans to go out to dinner, go out to movie, and we get angry about each other on something, we still going because we're not gonna let that particular moment dictate the rest of our day. So we're still gonna go out to eat. We're still gonna go to the movie, and we'll deal with that. Later when we get back, or when we get back, we'll pick that conversation back up again. But it's not going to make us hold a grudge and dictate the rest of our day how we're going to treat each other. That's just one thing. It has time and it has space.
Yes. There you go. Time and space. Okay, let's calm down. Because see, you don't want to just go off on the cuff, and we can do that. We can just go off instead of taking time. Okay, let's go on. Let's go ahead and go to dinner.
Respond.
Let's put some space there and time, and we're going to come back to this. But we have to give each other permission.
That's good.
To hold each other accountable.
Yeah.
And you can't get mad when your other hold you accountable, because they can be aware of some things that you're not aware of.
Even your friends. Yeah.
The Bible said, know thyself. Be careful and know yourself. I think it's in Timothy, 1 Timothy 4, they talked about know thyself. You got to know yourself, know how you are wired. Everyone is wired different. You have different personalities. You have these different, whether you're choleric, whether you're sanguine, personalities, different. So, but you got to know the dominant ones. You have, you got some women, they call alpha women. They are. That doesn't make them bad. It's just you got to know yourself. You got to know how you are wired. You got to know what triggers things, and you got to know how to, okay, wait a minute. I see my flesh trying to go here, but I'm gonna choose to push it down, and let's go and sit aside and talk about this. But you have to be willing. You have to, and that's hard. Yeah. And that's hard. Like, can we be transparent, Coach? It's harder, for each one of us to suppress that flesh and admit we're wrong. Because when you've been raised a certain way, and you thought that was right, that wasn't right. No, that was not right. That's some things that have been taught that was normal, that really was abnormal. Now we've been grown in our own relationship, and it was not normal. So now I got to retrain my thinking, and say, wait a minute, she has a voice too. He has a voice. So we have to respect each other's opinion, but that doesn't mean we have to agree with the opinion. So we agree to what? Disagree. And either it shows up that, okay,
we give it to God. We give it to God. We cast it over to Him, and He's going to sort it out.
Yeah, right.
So, if I'm being led by God, you're being led by God, then God is going to set it out. He's going to humble me. He's going to speak to me and say, "Now you know you were wrong. You need to go back and fix that."
Yes.
And if you're a person of God and you obey Him, then you're going to do what you need to do.
And it takes a bigger person to apologize, and that flesh don't like it.
And like I said, it's challenging, but you have to practice those new behaviors.
Yes.
So people in healthy relationships take care of and look out for each other, just like what we were saying. Research shows that strong relations can help us avoid illness, adopting healthy habits, and even live longer when you have healthy relationships. We talked about communication. Communicate, express your needs, express your thoughts, express your opinions, express your feelings. Because if you hold on to these things, eventually it's going to come out. And it probably won't come out right if you've just been holding it on to them, because they tend to fester and ball, and then it kind of balls over like a pot, when you're not communicating and expressing your needs and things like that.
And we can't be moved by our emotions and feelings. Yeah. They are valid. They are valid. But we have to, like you said, that time and space, so we can respond and not what? React.
That's good. Yeah. And here's the thing. Communication, it doesn't just come in the form of me talking. Communication is listening.
Yes.
That's why we have 2 ears. I love that. And here's the thing. Not just that. Our actions, our emotions, I'm looking for a word. When people see you, your facial expressions and stuff like that.
Gestures.
Yeah, gestures.
Your
You
behavior.
communicate.
Your
You
eyes
communicate.
speaks
Right.
a whole lot.
Right.
You don't have. You can speak so loudly, with your actions and your attitude, your energy level. Especially when a person know you. I know my husband.
The tone of your voice.
Yes, the tone of your voice, and how even now, even in your when you talk to someone, it's like we're talking, I'm smiling. But if I'm sitting here mad, you can tell. I'm telling you, you can tell when someone is just either they're upset or they're angry or they're sad. You hear it in the tone of their voice.
Oh, you see it in their expression.
That's right, in their behaviors, and what they do.
Right. Another form of communication is touching, holding hands.
Yes.
A hug. These type of caring behaviors. Really they help to lower stress levels.
Yes.
So be supportive of each other's goals, dreams, and ideas. And this is not relationships with some people. These things still apply to you. You have to be supportive of each other, even if they're different from your own. Keep your word. Be trustworthy, be dependable. These things are critical. Realistic expectations, especially in the relationships outside of a marriage. You sometimes we hold our friends and things of that nature at these expectations that we think they should call us, they should invite us to everything, they should,
Right.
Those are unrealistic expectations. You can't get mad and bent out of shape because something you expected, didn't happen in the relationship.
Right. Yes.
Now, if you feel you need to address it, then address it.
Yes. And it depends on you in that personal relationship. Do you hang out on a daily basis?
Right.
How often do you talk to one another?
Right.
And that's something you have to grow out and grow into.
That's true right there.
And you really do. You have to grow out and grow into.
Right.
I like that.
You have to come to a place that you have
Yes.
to understand that you would not be able to meet everybody's need or solve
A
everybody's
whole
problem.
someone,
And it's not your responsibility.
and you can't hold someone. You cannot expect people to. You can't hold people to your expectation
Or your standard.
or your standard.
Mhm.
You can't do that.
But you can hold them to a standard.
To a
Because your
standard,
standard may be above the standard. It may be beyond and more, but there should be a standard in the relationship.
Yeah.
Something that you do expect from a relationship.
Yeah.
You don't expect to be the giver all the time in the relationship, giving up time, giving up love, giving up apologizing all the time. You shouldn't always be the giver.
Yeah, I agree.
If that makes sense.
Yes, that makes sense. You
Okay.
can't keep casting your pearls to
Right.
yeah, casting. But I want to say, even with, tell people, when we talk about communication, we have to show people how we want to be treated. You don't just allow someone to say things to you that offend you and you laugh it off as well. And if you don't like it, you let them know. I learned this in teaching preschool in Germany. And we used to have to tell the kids, let little Johnny know that I don't like that. That doesn't make me feel good. So why we can't become like little children sometime and tell others, our friends or our spouse, hey, I don't like when you do that. I don't like it when you say that. It makes me feel. You don't come back and that's just the way I am. Well, just because that's the way you are doesn't mean that entitles you to hurt me, but it makes me feel this way. So let's give an example. Patrick is short like his mom. He is. And so I thought he was okay with it. I used to mess with him about his height. I used to not want to wear heels or anything. I said, because I'm taller than you. And, and I thought we just made
when
fun
you wear
of it.
heels.
Yes. But, but we literally the same height. But when I put on heels, but, and he'll go to the store and the people ask what size shoes he wear. He wears 7.5. They say, you wear 7.5? Yes. He have short, smaller feet. So he's small like his mom, stature like his mom. And so he finally told me, he said, I don't like that. He said, I don't like it when you say that. I said, I didn't know that. You didn't tell me.
But see, I was all right. I was all right with anybody else, want to tell a short
But it
joke.
was me.
But coming from you, no,
Yeah,
I don't want to
because
come
we
in.
have a brother-in-law. Oh my God, they are hilarious when they are together because he does, but they have so much fun with it. We went home one Mardi Gras. And he had told him, they came and we all came together as a family. So he had told Patrick, I got a gift for you. You remember that? And he gave Patrick some shoes. And he gave him a shoe, and it was a small shoe, a kid shoe.
Baby
Remember that?
shoe.
Yeah, but it was all in fun though. But that's how they joke.
That's how we joke.
That's how they joke together. But he didn't like that. I'm just making a point.
Yeah.
He didn't like that. We have to be able to tell people how we feel.
Yeah, I could have got an attitude about it, and it could have got me bent out of shape. But I was like, no, I say it's all right when other people may tell a short joke,
but when you're right, yes. And so he didn't like that, and
Yeah.
I stopped that. I said, well, I apologize. I didn't know that you didn't like that.
And here's the thing:
from me,
I am comfortable in life every day.
And this been years. Everybody, this been years ago.
I am comfortable with Patrick.
We
but
have
she
grown
just
beyond
said
that.
a sample with you because now when I was in high school, I fought a lot because people would try me because I was small.
Yeah, we got to break, guys.
The outcome wasn't in their favor. I was just saying, we're gonna go to a break.
We're gonna go to a break, guys. Hey, we would love for you guys to tune in to this conversation. This is Help Matters, guys, and we're talking about Help Matters, and we're talking about Help Matters in every area of life. And today we're talking about healthy relationship. If you want to tune in and chime in on this conversation, that number is 803-226-0041 or 0043. We're gonna take a break, and guys, but I want you to stay locked down right here on Help Matters with Jackie
and Coach Patrick.
We'll be right back.
To all listeners and supporters, yes, you prayed and God answered. WAAW Shout 94.7 FM Gospel is back across the airwaves. Make plans to join us for the WAAW Welcome Back Celebration Luncheon on Saturday, August 23rd, 2025, 12 noon at the Leslie B. Price Center, 841 Edgefield Avenue, Aiken, South Carolina. This will be a great day of celebration and fellowship as we hear Dr. James L. Patterson singing his hit, I Believe God. An up-and-coming artist, Imelda Schaffner, singing her hit, I Will Never Be Defeated. As well as speakers from throughout our broadcast area. Come and meet the WAAW Jesus team and hear the vision for WAAW by the Cornerstone Group. Luncheon tickets is $25 and a program booklet for ads is also available. WAAW Welcome Back Celebration Luncheon, Saturday, August 23rd, 2025, 12 noon at the Leslie B. Price Center, 841 Edgefield Avenue, Aiken, South Carolina. If you hear this commercial, we want you there. For more information, call 803-649-6405 or 803-270-3169.
Ready?
All right. All right, guys, we are back here on Help Matters. Guys, I'm Jackie.
And I'm Coach Patrick.
Listen, guys, we've been talking about healthy relationships. I don't know about y'all. I'm enjoying this. I'm refreshing myself and learning some new things that, that I forgot. Not new. I'm being, what you call that words? Reminded.
Sure.
Of some things, and that's why it's so important to communicate, Coach.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, we would love for you to chime in on this conversation, guys. I tell you, it's so good to talk about these things because, see, you never know how you being transparent and opening up and sharing your story and sharing your views and opinion may be a blessing to other people.
That's right.
So, and that's only if you're comfortable with that, So, but the number is 803-226-0041, 0043. Some of you may say, Jackie, what that relationship has to do with, hey, it has to help is so multidimensional.
That's right.
It affects your
social wellness.
That's
it. That's a dimension.
That's a dimension of wellness.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Listen, now we were talking about communication. Actively listening is part of communication to understand each other's perspectives. Be non-judgmental. I think we talked about that. Show that you value the other person's opinion by actively listening. Acknowledge differences. It's so important to do that, and then put yourself in the other person's shoes, see their perspective. And, you have to understand people's background. You have to understand people's culture and the religion when you're dealing with other people, in relationship.
Right.
So we got a comment on Facebook. Brother Wayne James says, true. The most difficult task of two becoming one is with our minds. But openness helps us help each other, meet challenges head on and work them through. That's good, brother.
That sounds like conflict resolution.
That's right. That's
We always try to find ways to fix the problem.
Mm-hmm.
We locate the problem. When we locate the problem, we identify it. So how do we do this? Not only we just identify it, now we become aware. What do you do when you become aware? You put these things into practice. Paul said, take what you have learned and put them into practice. That's action.
Mm-hmm.
That means it requires some effort on your part.
Most definitely.
Whether it's getting counseling, within the church or out.
Right.
Professional counseling. And even if you get that, and one thing I learned when I went through life coaching training years ago, that was such a game changer for me. Me and two other friends, we went through this training, and I tell you, it was a game changer for me when I took and became a life coach. I said, wow, this thing just really made me look at things from a different perspective.
Right.
And it made me realize some things that I wasn't able to communicate. I wasn't able to communicate. My husband would tell you, and because it's not that I wasn't able, I just didn't know how to handle conflicts. In my world, I thought everybody's supposed to get along. I thought, I didn't like how people treat other people, or I didn't like people, how they hurt my feelings. So I would take that thing and internalize it and just hold it in. But I tell you, as I grew older, as I matured in age and went through some things, God, I had a minister say, God is toughing you up, and I'm telling you, my husband will sit here and tell you, I have grown a whole lot. Still growing. I'm still becoming. I'm still becoming, but I have grown so much in my life. And when others can see that, So
that's shame. When you can see it. Because when you go through particular specific things in your life and you remember how you used to respond and you're no longer responding that way, you know that there's a change. There's been a change in you. That spirit man has been built up, and that spirit man is the strong man in your life.
Right.
And it suppresses that flesh and what it may want to do.
And it's not easy, Coach, to do that. to do that. That flesh can, can come very stubborn, and we have to. I think we was talking about something this week, and we said we got to choose who when we come against something, because 90% we can't control of what's happening out there.
You can't. Yeah.
But we have to choose who we're gonna allow.
And choose your response. And because God is looking at you.
Yes,
we are
He
believers.
worried about who did it to
He's looking
you.
at you, how you respond. So we talked
it.
about conflict resolution. We have to speak up when conflicts arise.
Right.
It's so important in any relationship, to speak up. Now, you have to use non-confrontational approaches, to resolve issues. So, for example, it's good to use the I word when you're trying to resolve conflict. So, for example, don't say things like, you never do anything around the house. You may not want to do something like that. You may want to reframe it, and you may want to say something like, well, I feel, even your tone, I feel we need to look at, maybe the distribution of chores, and to make sure it's fair and balanced for both you and I. So we can make sure that none of us are being overworked. So, and in tone too. So what you're saying has to have the right tone to it.
Even in a text, you can text someone in anger, and you
careful with them.
And people, and you be like, they can hear you in this text. I have done it. Hey, I can admit to it. I'll take ownership, but I have learned now to just wait. Even I'm just not even gonna respond, because right now, if I respond right now, I know.
See, I don't even go to in text. I just
and my husband's not like, and I don't like going back and forth either. We just don't like
people
back
can
and
misunderstand.
forth. I'm an in-person person, and like to resolve things right there. But I want to go back to the coaching that I went, and we went through. They took us an intense. It was a 3-day long training, and we went through this intense coaching, real life scenario. And we was paired up with someone we never met, never knew. And I'm like, wow, and we had to coach each other.
That's what makes it real. And
we had to be transparent. We couldn't tell no one else's story but ours. We had to pick one thing that, what hurt us or what's going on. And I tell you, that changed my life. I cried like a baby, because I had been holding this stuff in. But I'm just saying, I did not realize a whole lot of stuff have just, came out that that I was holding in. But they just show you have to get in your word. You have to know thyself, because see, the flesh just lays dormant. And if you allow it,
them old ways,
it'll come up. Just like I tell people, when you're trying to change behaviors and habits, whether it's eating right or start moving more, exercising. I like to say movement, because everybody moves different. Exercise sometimes can seem like a chore or a job, so I just say move. But when we don't, I can't say it. Go ahead, Coach. It'll come back to me.
Okay, well, we're talking about the conflict,
right? Plain to thought.
That's a aging.
No, I ain't receiving that.
that's a side effect.
No, I ain't receiving that. No, I don't think so.
But talking about conflicts, speak up. It's so important to speak up, because if you don't speak up, when you're trying to resolve conflict, and you're always just, suppressing things, then there's a sense of power loss, in a relationship.
Right.
And then it starts to depress you, because you just started feeling sorry for yourself and things of that nature. Another thing to talk about before we get off the air this morning, compromise. You have to compromise sometimes. Yes. You can't want to be right all the time, or, want things to be your way. And that can damage relationships. It can't be your way all the time.
Right.
You have to compromise sometimes.
Gotta listen. I don't think we emphasize listening. You really have to listen to the other person, and don't respond just to react.
Right.
Don't just listen to give your opinion.
Because sometimes we're listening, and we already have made up in my mind what we want to say before the person expresses everything they need to say. You already made up your answer, what you want to come back with. So you're not
already formed your own opinion in your mind of what you're going to say. So you're really not listening. You're not a subjective listener. So you're listening just to respond just okay, or I'm making myself the victim in this, but never taking accountability or ownership of what have done. So we have to, everybody's opinion is valid, but we got to be an active listener and not just one-sided. You got to really hear the other person out, whether you agree with it or not agree with it.
Let's try to get these two more points out. We was on compromise, so the goal when you're in compromise is to negotiate and make adjustments so you both can be happy with the results. You want to try to get to a win-win. You want to explain why you want what you want, have suggested. So you have to be able to explain that and help the other person to see it. What are the concerns that are causing you to want something different than what the other person wants? So you have to be able to express all these things. Again, that's why I say communication is so important. And then once you both understand the whys and the concerns, then you can start building a solution that's going to get you to a win-win situation.
Now I got it. It came back to me. Holy Spirit brought it back to me when I said when we are deciding to change some things. It's hard to change. The flesh don't want to change. But when we decide to change behaviors, whether we want to eat a little better, want to drink more water, we want to move a little bit more. Remember, guys, behaviors, you have to replace those habits with something. You got to replace it with something good, something better. You have to replace it with something that's changing you for the better. Because if you don't, you're going to continue doing the same thing because you got to replace them and you got to be consistent. The key is consistent. You got to be consistent with it. That means you have to create in your personal environment, you have to create a place where it helps you foster better relationships or foster better healthy relationship with yourself. So guys, and so we're gonna get to space apart. I think Coach talked about this.
Yeah, just having that space apart, that me time. That's all that's about. Just having me time. That's so important in the relationship. Because you don't want to smother. People in a relationship. Spending all your time together can be smothering. So you want to have that me time. Other relationships. If you got hobbies, you want to have time to participate in the activities that you have outside of that relationship, whether it's sports, social events, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But that me time is important. Now, too much me time can be a hindrance. So you have to be careful with that. Non-threatening behavior. All interactions should remain positive without worry or of safety. Decide as a couple or when you're in a relationship that if either of you begins to leave the safe or that calm zone and become angry, it's time to separate. Okay, it's time to separate. Both of you, just need to exit and just come back at it. Like I said,
remove yourself from the situation.
You may just not
that space and time.
You can't come to an agreement right now, so it's time to separate to be able to do that. And then go ahead, Jack.
Yeah, when all else fails, what? Seek help.
Gotta get it.
If you have unresolvable issues, talk to your pastors, licensed professional counseling, and you'll receive that is confidential. It's not going to be shared outside of whom supposed to know or those involved that are trying to help, or refer for additional help. But even with the best outside counselor, you can't get help if you don't want help.
That's right.
If you don't never open up, you ain't gonna never get the help. I don't care how many 5-star, 10 stars a mental health counselor have or someone. If you're not willing to open up or have the desire to want to change, it's just not. You can't. Ain't no amount of money gonna fix that.
Right, but the important thing here is to get help when you need it. Listen, our time is up. We want you to stay tuned for Pastor Bush. He's coming up at 9 a.m. with You Matters Concern Ministry Fellowship. Saturdays with Sean at 10 a.m. She'll be coming up. Then Alicia G will be with us at 12 a.m. and Tony D at 6 p.m. We have many, many programs coming on during the week. Deborah Pearson with Morning Praise, Mary Harris, Afternoon Praise, Arlene Edwards talking it up. Dinner with the Flock at 5 o'clock. And then, that's right, Dinner with the Flock at 5 o'clock. Okay, I'm a rapper. Didn't you know? Okay, Pastor Smiles, Jesus Jazz at 8 p.m.
And guys, we'd like to thank you for listening to Help Matters here every Saturday, 8 p.m. Join us, guys, every Saturday, guys. And we're looking forward to seeing you guys at the Leslie Lee Price next Saturday, guys, for the WAW celebration. Guys, welcome back. Come on back. We are all here to help you to be a better you, to be the best you that you can be. Remember, we're here, Father, to help you. So remember, John 3:2, I wish above all things that you may prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prosper. Guys, always sow and show an act of kindness, because you never know when an act of kindness may be extended back to you. We love you guys at Help Matters. Join us every Saturday. We'll see you later. All right, guys. See you later. Bye-bye.